Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Arena Gauntlet League match. We are getting close to the end of week 4 here with match number 19 here today, and our chances are slipping but still do exist for a top 8 spot, and at the very least we could try to secure a top 16, but we've still got hopefully 12 more matches left in this league. And the deck you see on your screen here is the deck we're going to play into match number 19 today. It's treated us relatively well so far, been more of a struggle lately than early, but we've still got some busted draws we can draw into this with this thing, and let's see if we can get it here today. Let's start this one like we always do by looking at the very top of the 184 player leaderboard, and look where we currently sit in 7th place. Now, I played my first 3 matches of this week very early on, so any number of wins higher than those sitting at 11 and 4 still will be good enough to pass them up. So we're all the way up in 7th, but it's early, and there are a lot of great players still that have not yet played as of before my match here today. So that is where we currently stand among the overall leaderboard, and within the Abzan clan we are in 3rd place currently. And Pluto's kind of running away with this one here. Alex S. Fly had a great week to move up and got a lot of us right around the 11 and 10 win range. We're going to see if we can maintain that Abzan top 8 spot, as our regular ranking might end up sliding quickly. Today's match is going to be against OompaLoompa, who has a record of 11 and 7 so far on the league, in 40th. Is in the Jeskai clan, and like everyone else at this point in the league, is running a 5-color deck. They've got a lifetime AGL record of, wait for it, 301 and 215, giving them win percentage just north of 58%. And we have actually had the chance to play each other twice in previous leagues, and we've each gotten the best of each other one time. So today will be the tiebreaker of those 3 matches here. Now, when it comes to the badges, I can barely fit the amount of badges that OompaLoompa has on his side of the screen. 7 top 8s, 3 additional top 16s, and within one of those top 8s, there is a pennant winning performance in there. No league victories just yet, but I'm sure that is inevitable with how well OompaLoompa is doing so far. So today's going to be a really tough one. We are having a rough week, sitting at 1 and 2 so far. Really got to turn it around to have basically any chance at top 8 at this point. So without any further ado, see you in game 1. Okay, we get to go first here, and we've got quite the curve. If we can draw another untapped land, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what I want to do as far as what order I want to play these things in. But I definitely want to get down Descendant on 1 and then Warden on 3. And if that means I have to play Blossoming Sands on 2 to do that, then I'll definitely do that. But let's play the Descendant on 1. And a lot of the time this thing goes pretty far being played on turn 1. And by pretty far, I mean deals a lot of damage before it really gets dealt with. Because OompaLoompa's going to really have to prioritize dealing with this Warden if and when it comes down. So we'll play Descendant here. Okay, tap land. Well, in order to play Warden on 3, I kind of have to do this, so that's the reason I played the tap land here. Oh, Pack Beast as well. Both of these are very good, but let's go ahead and just play the Warden. And then next turn, I mean, probably Bodyguard, but let's see what survives and what doesn't here. Another tap land and a morph. That's fine. Or, yeah, morph. Okay. Do I trade it? If I trade it with the Descendant, I can play Bodyguard post-combat and get it back. And then potentially double spell and tap something down? Seems pretty good. So let's do that. Decline. I mean, take 5, I guess? Or, yeah, take 5. Okay, and then bodyguard, and if I... Okay, do I want the 1/1? I don't think the 1/1 actually does that much right now. So I'm going to put the counter on this one, and now we're getting to the point of the game where things could get interesting. There's a Karsi Revenant in the pool. Okay, that's got Death Touch. I do not have removal. Does he have a Piercing Exhale here? There's the Piercing Exhale. Okay. Not quite an untapped land here. I'd love to be able to tap that thing down, and I think I need... Gosh. What busted things could come down at 5 mana here? I don't have removal in my hand. All the rares are 4 mana or less. I'd love to be able to get my stuff, my creatures down and things, but gosh, I need to make sure that the coast is clear. Yeah, see, I think getting rid of the revival is correct here. Wanted to make sure that none of those busted cards could come down and hurt me. Let's see, Descendant trading off here, is that decent? I mean, probably, I don't know, probably not. I want this thing to double spell and tap down the Devotee. I do have the Barren Step Siege to put counters on things here. Don't think I'm going to attack. Why does this thing have to have Death Touch? That stalled me out quite well. Don't have any of my removal here. I guess Negotiations was a form of it, but... Okay, that's a 3/4. This does mean I can double spell, but it does mean my bodyguard's gonna die. I think I'd rather... I mean, if I attacked with bodyguard, I could trade it off for the spawn here. I don't think I want to be attacking, though. Not sure. This is tough to decide whether or not to attack. I don't think I'm going to, though. I think having this bodyguard out is going to be pretty important to be able to push some kind of damage. Not to mention that every creature that stays alive over here is better with Barren Step Siege. Board is starting to get gummed up here, but hopefully the siege can open that up. I can actually attack with the Descendant here, and I mean, if I put the counter on it, it has to trade with one of these 3 things. And then I could even put this on Mardu. And then the Abzan Devotee can continually get in, because if it dies, I could just bring it back to my hand and then keep casting it. I don't know if that's optimal or not. Because this would trade with something, and then also Mardu would get another thing. Because as long as this devotee is out here, unless I'm double spelling, the counters, I mean, they're nice, but the counters have to be good enough with 4 creatures, right? Some sort of priority over there. How many piercing exhales are there? There are 3 piercing exhales? Okay, 3 piercing exhales. Don't like that. Let's see if everything survives to the end step. Looks like it does. Question becomes, are the counters going to be good enough based off of whatever the draws are over there? And that I do not know. We're not really going to be double spelling anytime soon, considering we've only got a land in hand. I guess the Abzan Devotee could help out with that if we return it to our hand and things, but we'll see. Okay, another Tawny back. These things just kind of gum up the board in a way that's really annoying. And a Maverick. Alright, yeah, it's going to be tough to get through all this here. Ooh, no reach over there. That's always nice. Okay. And I will play the land in case the devotee dies. And I currently have 7, 8 points of damage coming through here. I don't want to put it on the Skyrider. Well, do I want to? Am I all in on the Skyrider and hope he didn't top deck removal here? Let's do it. I mean, if he's got the removal, he's using the removal. Could just be the morph. Oh goodness. Yeah, that card has been brutal against me. Okay. What could this morph be? I think I need to try to figure this out here. I think it's that important. Let's see. So there is an Ice Feather Aven when it's turned face up, return another creature to its owner's hand and it has flying? That could be it? I don't think there's a reach creature that has 5 toughness on here. This is 8. Do I have lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, so these are unblockable. 1, 2, 3. No, I won't. So let's attack. Give that flying. I think I'll give it the counter instead of the 1/1, and let's see what the morph is here. It is the Ice Feather Aven. So it gets bounced, but we're still in a decent enough spot, I think. I mean, is there any downside to just jamming here? I mean, they can play... They could escape the Pharika's spawn with the current mana they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. They go to minimum of 3, or maximum of 3. This seems like it has to be relatively good, right? I mean, I had to sack a creature to the spawn, but like, sure. Should be fine. Okay. So they guess that, yeah, they would go to 3 as it currently stands by not blocking these. Oh, these also have flying. I forgot about that. And I think he would have to chump the Pack Beast with the Tawny back here, because I do currently have lethal. Yeah, that was about to say. Spawn on Pack Beast and Tawny back on Descendant. But now the spawn doesn't die, so you don't get to do the thing. But we'll take the counters, and unless there's some crazy board wipe here. And there's not. Alright, our Abzan deck did its thing on the play. Tap land, tap land. We got our way there. So, I'm not seeing a ton of necessarily busted rares or anything out of that pool. On the draw, I'm not main decking any of the Skull Hunters, so taking those out or leaving those out seem fine. There's a Parination in the pool, which is the thing that returns it to the battlefield hexproof and indestructible. There's a couple of Sieges. I don't think they're the good ones, though. There's the Awaken the Honored Dead and Revival of the Ancestors. I saw the Revival. If the Revival hits, it's really hard to counter against something like that. Some of these green cards could potentially come in, but like Reclamation... Sarkhan's Resolve, there's a Narrative Heart of the Storms. A Codis, the Fangkeeper, which has Indestructible. Might just come in to gum up the board a little bit. I mean, I think our matchup is actually quite good against this deck. I'm not sure I really need to change much. I really do like our matchup. So... I think I might just run it back as I had it. Yeah, let's just run it back here, and if we see something crazy... I mean, there is a Karakit Guardian we saw, which maybe Sarkhan's Resolve becomes good enough then, but is there only one? Yeah, there's only one of those. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. So I'm going to try this. See you in game 2. Alright, in game 2, we have Sentinel into Negotiations, and that's one of the curves this deck relies on, and the fact that Sentinel can get a Plains for us if we don't hit it in our first 3 turns, or 2 turns, I guess, is usually pretty big game, but we hit it anyway, so now we don't even have to do Sentinel. We could play around a potential counterspell here. There is a Dispelling Exhale, but there's not one of the X counterspells, so I could use the Kirin. But I know I want a creature down so that I can use the Negotiations here. And I think I'm actually going to have it be the Kirin. A 3/2 flyer is just a big problem for next turn. The following turn I could do Sentinel Bearer and then Skyrider. I mean, that all seems pretty decent. So let's just, like, play around the counterspell for now. Play the Kirin, use Negotiations, and... hope that's enough. There's the Team Tawny back. Those have just been running rampant this league so far. also could be in a racing situation here now. Our 3-powered flyer is not going to race well against their 4-powered attacker. So let's see what we can get out of the hand here. Interesting. Okay, so these Karakit Guardians have, like, basically destroyed me. There is a removal spell. And like I said, I could just hope he doesn't hit the mana for the Guardian, but if he does, gosh, that's so bad for me. The Dragonologist basically blanks both of these creatures here. This is a really bad hand for me to see. I mean, so does the Tawny back, to be fair, but I can't take, because I think I've got to take the Dragonologist. As bad as this feels, it's probably just going to remove this, hit me for 5, and then next turn I can play 2 creatures here. No? Chose not to remove the Kieran. Ah, drew something better. Okay. Well, in we go. Play 2 creatures here. And then still 2 mana away from the Guardian. We know this is likely the 2/2 flyer that bounces a thing. And that costs 3 to unmorph, is that right? Let's see. Yeah, 3. Can't really get blown out by a double block here. More creatures that line up well against mine. Probably trying to just surveil into lands to be able to play the Guardian here. And let's see if he chooses to remove a creature or not. Oh, kept both on top? Interesting. Okay. It's kind of at the impasse of, like, needs lands to play the haymaking game winner, but also doesn't want lands so you can draw into action to protect against what I'm doing here. Does have the mana to unmorph this thing and return a creature to my hand. So if I use my whole turn, could, like, block and then return this to my hand, but then I use 5 mana to push 4 and kill a thing, and then something's dying? I don't know if we win this race, because if I play the Skyrider, it's just dying to knockout maneuver. Right? So what if I attacked like this? Does that force the unmorph of the Aven here? If one of these gets bound to my... any gets bound to my hand, I can play it plus the Skyrider. It would die. This would probably die, but I do get to reestablish my board a little bit. And I don't actually need to activate this currently. So now the question is, do I play the Skyrider? 6, 7, go to 6. If I play the Skyrider, it could just get bounced end of turn, and then next turn kill this thing and then hit me for a bunch. But then it's 5, 6, 7, not lethal. I'd be at 7. It's a tough spot to be in. Conversely, I could just hold this up on defense. This might just get unmorphed anyway and like bounce my Bearer of Glory. Neither of which feel great, but I just thinking if this gets bounced, this is my whole turn, but this is also my whole turn, so I'm going to end the turn and see if they choose to unmorph the Aven here and bounce something, or if, because when this is a 2/2 flyer, this could at least, you know, bounce off of it. So there's the Aven. Let's see if they're just going to push some damage. No, getting rid of the Glory, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So I kind of forced that here. I have to take at least 6, probably 7, maybe 8. No? Okay. Okay, take 6, go to 7. Didn't draw the land here. Still getting priority though, so this is an instant, whatever the draw was. I don't like that. I wanted to see if they were getting priority there, so let's do... Try to kill the Tawny back, see what happens. Is there a... There is not a Snakeskin Veil, but is it a removal spell for the Kirin? It was a Piercing Exhale off the top, it looks like. Yeah, nice draw. Well, you did surveil that, so in fairness. Okay, my guess is Knockout Maneuver kills the Bearer of Glory here. In which case this is a 3/3, and then I have a 1/3. Which doesn't line up particularly well, except for... Oh no, they're one land away. Alright. And if they draw the untapped land... I think it's GG. And even if it's a tapped land, I think it's GG. Guess the question is now, this thing does give a counter and give things trample. So, I don't know what I would need to draw here. Ah, perfect. And Grumar Initiate doesn't do it. Darn, alright, well... Stuck on lands over there, and we still couldn't quite get it done. I feel like we had a decent curve, but that was a little bit of strange of a game. Sometimes the Skull Hunters are pretty good on the play. This Aven is really annoying. Sighting in Broken Wings makes me think maybe... They probably saw the high Sentinels and are sighting it in for that, so maybe something like... Going a little bit lower on the curve like this, getting rid of a flyer. I don't think I can take out the Skyrider though, that thing's too good. And then everything else, especially being on the play, I think seems okay. There's the Sarkhan's Resolve still. Is that any better based on what I saw? There's the Aven, but if that flips, it's already done its damage, so I don't think so. I didn't see any busted artifacts or enchantments either the first 2 games, and I'm looking at the pool, and none of them scare me that much. Not like there's a dissection tools or anything in here. So I think this looks pretty good for game 3. So let's try this one out. Well, it's a very slow hand, but I don't think we can send it back. We've got the 2/3 curve. We do need one additional untapped land to be able to make it happen on curve here, but I think I've got to keep it. It's a little risky to send that one back. Now do I go Bearer or Krumar here? I think I'm going to play the first striker, and if I miss a land, I can play Initiate. If I hit the land, I can Negotiations here. No Oblivious Bookworm, please. Kishless Skimmer. Sure. Alright. Let's do the curve this deck is known for. Okay, deals X damage to any target. That's a removal spell. That's a big creature. That's... This one I don't care too much about, so it's one of these three. Do I take the removal? I guess if I take the Devotee next turn, he has to just play Grapple with the Past and play the Nomad Outpost, and then the following turn decide if it's Claws or Spawn here. And then I've got Current and Betrayal. So I think I'm just going to disrupt the curve by making him not have a play except for Grapple with the Past this turn. Don't tell me the top deck was Piercing Exhale. It was Piercing Exhale. Okay. That makes life a lot more difficult. Why? Really? They didn't scry or anything, did they? No, just a good old top deck there. I'm going to hit the spawn because Strategic Betrayal can exile the graveyard, and it can't escape it this turn because it costs 6 mana. Oh man, really? A 1/1? Now Betrayal gets worse because it just eats the 1/1 instead of the relevant 2/2 flyer here. Could also use Dragon Claws to kill the Bearer of Glory, which I think will happen, and there it goes. Stuck on mana here now. So, I think they've turned the corner, and we did not have quite... Maybe it was a mulligan. I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, my play was play a 2. I played the 2-drop and then the 3-drop. I guess the hand was just good enough. So, yeah, this is going to be tough to come back from here. Now I drew the swamp. Yeah, I mean, just too many 2/2s and 3/3s and stuff to really let me be able to get through. So, looks like we'll fall to 1 and 3 on the week, and our top 8 chances have just all but evaporated, unfortunately. I think we're about out of it here now. See if we can get some help from a comeback pack. And then do it, and then bounce the 3/3, 2/2, 1/1. I guess we have the dragon board wipe is all we could really hope for here. It's about our only out. And even then, they just get it right back, but instead, we'll draw the land and lose for today. So we gotta win our last match of the week just to have any semblance of a chance of holding on in this one. Well, that loss does make us fall from that 7th place where we were holding our spot in all the way down to 20th with that record of 12-7. And to have any realistic shot at top 8 from here, we pretty much have to go about 10-1 in our last 11 matches. I don't think that 9-2 is going to be good enough, and 8-3 would be great because that means we get all the way to match 30, but 20-10 won't get you there this league, so it's going to be incredibly tough from here on out. But you know what? Within the Abzan clan, we just dropped to 4th. I think our clan is doing quite well in the Ascendancy Challenge, so as a consolation in the league, if we can try to secure up a top 8 spot within the Abzan clan, I think that'd be a nice little consolation prize. Maybe push for top 16 badge there within the league, but that could be a little bit tough. But we'll see what we can do. When it comes to today's comeback pack, the first pack we get presented with is a Tarkir Dragonstorm Play Booster, and look at that card in the top left. Sage of the Skies, that card's good. We've also got an Abzan Triland, a Blossoming Sands, a Dalkovan Pack Beast, and Reputable Merchant, Nightblade Brigade, Inevitable Defeat if we wanted to splash. I mean, this is the point where I would usually say, and our other option is, I'm not even going to show you the Tarkir Reforged pack, it's not worth any of our time. The Tarkir Dragonstorm pack was way better, and this is the pack I chose for the week. So I brought in the couple of cards that I'm pretty sure are going to make the deck, like the Pack Beast here, and definitely the Sage of the Skies. Brought in the other Sands and the Citadel as well, and I'm wondering now, with our fixing getting pretty darn good, we've got like, with one forest, we've got, what is this, 4, 5, 6, 7 green sources, 8 if you count Devotee here. If we've got 7 green sources, I'm wondering how much extra green we could get away with putting into the main deck to make ourselves be able to survive against things like Temur Tawny-backs and stuff. I'm wondering, we were also able to get, where is that card here? Another one of the Host of the Hereafters. So if we're able to maybe move to a little bit more of kind of a like 3 of 4 drop mid-range deck as opposed to all of these 2s. These 2s get so outclassed so quickly now at this point in the league that I'm really struggling to think that this is exactly what I should be doing here. So if I brought in those Hosts of the Hereafters, I mean, is there anything else on that kind of path that I might want to bring in? I do have 2 Bloodfell Caves and a Rugged Highlands here. If I needed to splash some red, I mean, we did just get the Inevitable Defeat, but I don't think that's worth splashing. It's pretty good. It helps our Defibrillating Current. Maybe we can go almost 4 color here. What if I brought in the Inevitable Defeat? It's going to be kind of a deck build on the fly here now. And then we kind of go almost like a 4 color good stuff deck. I mean, is there anything else in red that I'd really be looking to play if I did that? We've got these Surges. I mean, we can kind of play like a mid-range removal game as well. We can bring in those Bloodfell Caves. Got another Sentinel. Frontline Rush, I don't think we need. Bunch of red here is a Twin Bolt. I don't think that's exactly what we're looking for. Channel Dragonfire, probably not on the splash. I did forget we do have the Corey Steelcutter as well if we want to go red. So, I mean, that card is quite good. Alright, so what I'm going to do here now is I think I'm going to potentially play around with this 4-color deck and see if there's anything interesting here, and I'll get back to you in a moment. So I started playing around with it, and the issue with especially going 4 colors, even over 3, is that our deck still, most of the glut of the cards are right here, and I mean, we're only playing at this point like 16 non-tapped lands, which is really not where you want to be. So I just don't actually think the Mardu is going to be that much better. I think the Host of the Hereafters are actually pretty decent. So I think I'm just going to cut all the red, kind of like I said, and just stick on the fact that I would like a lot of my lands to come in untapped here. I think the current still has to be good enough, considering we just need some more removal. So just cutting all these, and then I don't think I actually, because I got the Sandstep Citadel, I don't think I actually need the 4th Blossoming Sands. We do still have a lot of green sources, even though we brought in the Host of the Hereafter. I could potentially even take out the Sentinel here, but how many lands are we on now? 20, so we need to add at least 4 of those back here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that, and then 4 cuts from all of this over here based on the cards that I brought in. I think, let's see, I'm liking most of these 3s. The Sentinel, just, I don't actually think we need it anymore, even though we've got a lot of 2s here. Seeker of the Way still seems good. Voice of Victory, that card hasn't shown up in a while. Do we need the Abzan Devotee for fixing? I mean, really the only reason it was in here for fixing, but now if we take out both pieces of fixing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green sources for like 4 green cards here. We're kind of going a little bit more mid-range with this. We do still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 1 and 2 drops with this, so that's still pretty good. This kind of goes over here. What about this Dawnbreaker? It's kind of like another 2-drop. I keep coming back to this Lancer. It's probably getting to be a little bit too small ball at this point, and then maybe one more cut from here. It could just be one of these Krumar Initiates. They've been a little slow. I mean, they're fine draws, but they've just been a little slow. So I wonder if something like this, moving slightly up higher in the curve so we can actually deal with 4/4s when our opponents play them, is actually not too bad. So we can go a curve like Descendant into Voice of Victory, Pack Beast, Host of the Hereafter, removal, negotiations on a 2-drop. I mean, all that is kind of what our deck is designed here to do. So I think this is where I'm going to lock it in for the week. And we really gotta rally tomorrow, because if we don't, we are effectively eliminated without an insane run to finish it. So thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you tomorrow for our final Week 4 Arena Gauntlet League match.